the Titans, the Mount Rushmore of players we all know the names of. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. Then there are the Giants hoping to join this group. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Nonetheless, you can't forget about these new guys hoping to dethrone everything those that came before them created and blaze their own trail into NFL history. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Mac Jones. Men that won't let you forget who they are. And if you do, they'll be more than happy to remind you. This is the show where we'll talk about all those legacies and so much more. We'll follow these storylines from the beginning of the season all the way to the climax of the Super Bowl. We'll see giants fall and watch new men who you never expected to take over stand tall. Through adversity and victory, the NFL has it all, and we'll cover every minute of it here. No buts about it.
Welcome back to No Buts About It. This is a Saturday before the Super Bowl Sunday episode. And yes, we missed Wednesday. Yes, we missed Friday. But we're here on Saturday. I'm in a good mood in Steubenville, Ohio. Chus is sick and coughing, but he loves the fans, so he's here. And because I made him, but also because he loves you guys. So I'm in a great mood. It's sunny here in Steubenville, Ohio for like the first time in 50 years. And so I was outside today, got a good run in, worked out. I'm feeling good. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about one of the awards, which I'm just going to go right into it because Chus and I were talking about it before the show, and he hadn't heard about this. But the Bills' assistant athletic trainer, Denny Kellington, received one fifth-place vote for MVP. And if you don't know who that is, he is the athletic trainer who performed the CPR on Damar Hamlin.
You know how cool that would have been if he would have won that?
It would have been cool. But you know who won? Instead, Patrick Mahomes. Did not deserve it. Joe Burrow did not receive a single first-place vote. I feel like my boy should have gotten at least one. Jalen Hurts got two, I think, which I know he's in the Super Bowl. Here's the other thing that's always bothered me about the MVP award. So, okay, you've got the MVP, Patrick Mahomes, your most valuable player in the whole league. Then you've got the Offensive Player of the Year award, which went to Justin Jefferson. How is the MVP, if he plays on offense, not also the Offensive Player of the Year?
What do you mean?
Well, okay, so we're saying that Patrick Mahomes, who plays offense, is the most valuable player in the NFL, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then we've got this other award. It's the Offensive Player of the Year, which goes to the most valuable offensive player, right?
Yeah, but MVP can go to anybody. MVP can go to offense, defense,
right.
But usually it's a quarterback.
But why wouldn't they be the same person? So, like, if it goes to if MVP goes to a defensive player, why isn't the Defensive Player of the Year also the same person?
Probably because they don't double up on awards. They give everybody a chance. That's just how it works. I mean, like, even on Madden, they know that.
I know.
Like, even on Madden, like, they'll have specific players that are like top players and stuff, and then they're usually not candidates for Offensive Player of the Year if they're good enough to be MVP. It's not necessarily it's just one of those things where it's like they're trying to honor as many players as they can. I don't think it's kind of like why it's like the Grammys. Whenever it's like, why honor all these people that, like, it's like, okay, yeah, you're giving them like 6 different awards and you're like, oh yeah, this is stupid. And then, but you go to like the NFL awards and like, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes wins MVP, but he can't win Offensive Player of the Year. So like,
yeah, it's stupid.
It just keeps a good balance. That means Joe Burrow could win Offensive Player of the Year.
That's so stupid though. Why don't they just call it like the most valuable quarterback or something?
Well,
because
did they it's divided into AFC and NFC, right? Or is it just Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive? Okay.
Yeah, it's just offensive and defense.
Well, there you go. The most valuable offensive player could literally be anybody else.
Okay, but who is the most valuable offensive player? Is it Justin Jefferson or is it Patrick Mahomes?
It could be Justin Jefferson.
Well, he's the offensive player of the year.
Exactly.
Why
And
isn't
you know
he
why
MVP?
why isn't he MVP? Because see, the thing is Patrick Mahomes alone had 41 touchdowns
Mm-hmm.
and 12 interceptions. Justin Jefferson made Kirk Cousins look good and helped his team win a bunch of games this season, making him very valuable as an offensive player. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a quarterback, but as an offensive player, like for example, like Justin Jefferson, like it's very important to have like a specific play. That's why they say it's like the most valuable player on the offense, because like it doesn't necessarily have to be like a quarterback. It can be a player too that helps the team succeed. And Justin Jefferson had a lot of huge games this year. So
Right.
I think you're looking way too far into this.
I think the MVP is a quarterback award, and the NFL should just come out and say that.
No, because I mean, not recently. It's been a lot of quarterbacks, yes, but it has gone to other players in the past. I mean, if you look it up,
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking it up right now because I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me. Like you're saying that a guy is the best on offense except for this other guy. Do. The last non-quarterback to win the award was Adrian Peterson in 2012.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while,
He had
but
to
I
run
mean,
for
Adrian.
2,097 yards.
Yeah, but that's crazy for a running back.
I know. That's how insane you have to do to get it to a non-quarterback.
Exactly.
So it's a quarterback
So-
award.
It's not a quarterback award. I mean, but I mean, for years before, like if you look like back in like the 90s and stuff, like there were a couple running backs in there, like Barry Sanders and Terrell Revis. And then even like in the 80s, there was a right outside linebacker that won. There was a kicker in the 80s that won.
When do you think the last how many non-quarterbacks do you think have won the MVP award?
It's probably like they probably won 30% of them.
30%. Well, you gave me
Probably
a
like
percentage,
30%.
so I don't know the percentage, but so non-quarterbacks. Let's see. There's been
Because I was looking, I mean, not in the last 20 years, but like over the course
it's
of
exactly
NFL
30.
history.
I don't know how you did that, but yeah, it's 18. I don't know how you did that. It's exactly 30%.
I just kind of looked at them like, yeah, it's probably about 30%. Maybe I should change my major statistics.
Just guesswork.
Yeah,
Well,
guesswork.
I still don't get it. I think if you're the most valuable person on offense, or if you're the most valuable player, then you're also the most valuable player on the side of the ball that you play. But
I mean, Justin Jefferson this season had 1,809 yards receiving.
and I'm not saying Justin Jefferson shouldn't have gotten the award. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe he should.
He had only 8 touchdowns. So that's kind of crazy.
He had 9 touchdowns.
What, all overall season or just regular season?
Oh, that might have been.
Either way, but like that's still really good. But like most of the time, wide receivers won't win MVP because they have to have like 2,500 yards.
Heck,
They have to more or less. They have to literally like for a non-quarterback to like, because the reason that quarterbacks win all the time, in my opinion, is because most of the time the MVP throws for like 5,200 yards, has like 52 touchdowns, whatever, really high amounts of things with less interceptions. For a running back or a wide receiver or somebody along those lines to win it, they have to match a quarterback's energy. But like obviously, like there's no way a wide receiver is going to get 5,000 yards. So they usually try to like equivalent it. So like if Justin Jefferson would have gotten like 2,300 yards and maybe like 14 or 15, maybe even 18 touchdowns, he might have gotten second place for MVP this year. But like it's just how it works, you know, because the most valuable player is definitely based on touchdowns,
I know.
wins, yards,
I know.
and how clutch you are. And the reason Patrick Mahomes won is because there was a lot of games this year he's been pretty clutch.
Well, Cooper Kupp last year got the Triple Crown, which is very rare for a wide receiver to do, and he still didn't win MVP.
Yeah, but the thing with who won MVP last year? It was what, Aaron Rodgers? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
No,
He's
yeah,
COVID
or-
MVP.
yeah, he's COVID MVP. He won both COVID years. Nice. Okay.
Now
So
he's gonna go lock himself in a dark house and figure
Cooper
out
Cup.
his.
Ye-
Did you
but
see that?
Cooper Cup, not yet. Hold on.
Okay.
Cooper Cup had in his 2021 season, he had 1,947 yards receiving, and he had 18 rushing touchdowns and 16 receiving touchdowns, which is absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
How, in my opinion, how Aaron Rodgers didn't, that Cooper Cup didn't win that, because that's 30 some touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I can
Mm-hmm.
understand that. I can understand the confusion with that, because then at that point, Aaron Rodgers in what was it? Aaron Rodgers
And
2021 stats real quick. He had, so he doubled him in yards. So
as
like
he's
his
throwing
Aaron,
them.
yeah, because he's throwing them. But he only had 37 touchdowns, and Cooper Cup over here as a wide receiver had over 30.
And again, Aaron is throwing them to people. He's throwing
Yeah,
them
and
to
Cooper
different
Cup
people.
receiving and rushing.
Yeah.
He actually had more rushing touchdowns. That's actually crazy how good he was that year.
And he
Very
triple
underrated.
crowned something that I think there's only like 5 times that's happened.
And then homie Cooper Cup got hurt this year.
Yeah, he did. But no, did you see Aaron Rodgers though is going to lock himself in a dark room or in a dark house for 4 days?
No, I did not.
Okay. So he's doing I'm going to call it darkness therapy. I'm sure there's a much more scientific name for it. So what Aaron Rodgers is going to do is he's going to go into a very small house and he's going to turn off all the lights, turn all the shades. He's going to be complete darkness. And this is going to help him kind of go into a retreat and get to know himself, and that's going to help him make his decision about whether or not to stay with the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
So
Best of luck to him for that, honestly.
I think he said 4 days. He's already apparently being cut out of some conversations, but Green Bay Packers fans, know that your franchise is contingent on this man and what thoughts he has in the dark. I hope that that's a comfortable thought. Actually, no, I don't, because that sounds really stupid that I'm saying it.
It's okay, bro.
No,
Happens.
Imagine like, do you know how annoyed I'd be if like Joe Burrow came out and was like, yeah, I'm gonna go lock myself in a house for a weekend and turn off all the lights, and we'll see if I decide to come back as a Bengal or not.
I don't know. I would be.
Like, what if Kenny Pickett did that?
It would just be really. I'd be like, what the.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
yeah, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, like it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go sit in the dark and figure it out.
I'm gonna
Like,
think about
nothing
this.
against Aaron Rodgers. Maybe it's a good method, but like on paper and like over the news, like when a news coverage, like an announcer's like, yeah, so in the news today, Aaron Rodgers has decided that he is going to sit in a dark room to figure out if he wants to return to the Packers. I'd be like, screw you. Like,
Yeah,
that's just like.
and I'll give Aaron Rodgers credit. I think he gets a lot of crap. I do think he does research his stuff a lot more than a lot of other people do, and I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff that he believes, but at least he believes it for a reason.
Okay.
This just
Yeah,
sounds
fair.
stupid, though. Like, this, I don't know. This just sounds like he's going to go crazy, and then he's going to end up on the Jets or the Raiders.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, yeah, it'll be funny. It'll be like Aaron Rodgers is like, he thinks and he's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna see if I can sign with the Houston Texans. I think I can bring them to glory.
He goes
And then
insane, and he's just sitting in his room. He's like, it'd be really funny.
If I went to Houston and I screwed over Bryce Young and Bryce Young ended up going somewhere else.
He needs to go to
Or
Chicago. Chicago
Bryce
would be the funniest.
Chicago would be actually funny. Chicago has that first overall pick, and then they trade it away because they get Aaron Rodgers.
They trade it to Green Bay. Green Bay gets Bryce Young. Jordan Love is just like, screw this. I'm out of here.
That would actually be such a troll. I don't know if I could, like, if that actually, like, that's such a Chicago Bear thing to do right now, but like I hope that they don't do. I hope they won't do that.
I as a Chicago Bears fan, like, what would your reaction even be? Like, I have spent the last 18 years of my life hating this man, and now he's our quarterback. I mean, this is a man
Yeah,
that ran around Soldier Field screaming, "I own you."
yeah, and now he's gonna. I don't know if that would, bol- uh, roll over well.
I love my
The
evil hypothetical scenarios that I have in my head.
This one probably won't happen. I
This one's
really
not going
doubt
to
that.
happen. It's
I
not.
doubt that Aaron Rodgers is going to go. I would be surprised. I would be more. Lamar Jackson is more likely to go to freaking Chicago than Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think anyone. I think they're going to run with Justin Fields, but
I mean, but Justin Fields isn't that bad. He just runs a lot, and the reason that he runs a lot is because his wide receiver core is like so mediocre that like it's actually like so disappointing.
the other
But
St. Brown brother.
yeah, I mean, he's not bad. It's just like they're just not living up to the par. Like Chase Claypool was supposed to be a stud, and he ended up being so mid that the Steelers traded him, and then like
I
he
have a
ended
soft
up.
spot for him.
I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I love Chase.
I have
Claypool.
a soft spot for Chase Claypool.
I'm glad.
Maple
I'm glad that you do.
Mapletron.
I mean, I wish that he would have played better because I think he was a lot of fun to play with, have play for the Steelers. But I don't. But they traded him and they got that second round pick, which is now a 32nd overall pick, sneaky first round pick
Yeah,
because
'cause the
Miami forfeited it.
Dolphins aren't allowed to pick in the first round.
Yeah,
And they
goofballs.
didn't get
Look at
Tom
you.
Brady. Like, they're really.
And did you hear Brian Flores signed as a defensive coordinator?
Yes, with the Vikings, right?
Yeah. And so Brian Flores no longer works for the Steelers. But what's funny about that is the fact that Brian Flores is going to Minnesota as a defensive coordinator. But I just think it's funny because like after the whole incident happened in Miami, everyone was like, "Oh, Brian Flores is never getting another job." He gets a job with the Steelers, and now he's a coordinator for the Vikings, and the Dolphins lose out on the first round pick still.
You know what's making me mad?
Hmm.
The Cardinals won't hire a dang head coach.
Cardinals, honestly, they might just have Kyler Murray as the head coach. To be honest,
They said they're waiting for after the Super Bowl, which I assume means they're hiring the Eagles. I think he's the offensive coordinator.
they might. I mean, I
But
guess. Or
they held another meeting with what's his name? Oh, Lou Anarumo of the Bengals. And he's our defensive coordinator, and I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose him. The other option would be Mike Kafka, who's with the Giants right now. He's also getting picked up. What is that? I think it's the offensive coordinator. Shane Steichen. I think he was the other one that the Cardinals were looking at, but I could be wrong. But I'm hoping that Lou stays in Cincinnati. Joe was tweeting about Lou coming to the Cardinals to be the head coach, and I told him no. I told him on Twitter no, that Lou Anarumo is not allowed to go be the Cardinals head coach. I forbid it.
Hmm.
So,
oh, sorry. I mean, I was listening, but also I was reading about college basketball. New Mexico State suspended their basketball program.
yeah, I saw that. I didn't really care, but I did see that.
I was very concerned because I always vote for New Mexico State every year in the March Madness. So when I saw that, I was like, no, my upset pick, them and Loyola Chicago, and then there's one more that I always pick as an upset, and every year they always seem to upset, and I was like, no, my upset pick, and then but it's over a shot and killed somebody, and then a mysterious new allegation. So
there are teams I only know from March Madness, but because you did that when I was talking about my boy Lou Anarumo, I'm just gonna. That's for you.
Whatever. I mean, listen, like I agree with you, but like also like I wanted to read about this because I'm just shocked. Just shocked, honestly.
Okay.
We're at New Mexico State's basketball program right now.
R.I.P. New Mexico State basketball program. Here. This is for New Mexico State's basketball program.
Hey, man, we don't know. They're allegations, so we really don't know much other than there was a player that like got shot and killed someone. So
Well,
I mean,
that's a pretty
whole,
valid reason to.
Yeah, but now there's mysterious new allegations, and
Mm.
all the coaches are placed on leave,
It
and
was an
the
inside job.
it's good.
That's what it was. I
It's
have no idea.
whatever.
You know, Pat McAfee's getting sued by Brett Favre for stuff he said about the whole Brett Favre Mississippi State situation. So,
I didn't hear about that,
yeah,
no, but
yeah,
kind of petty.
defamation.
But I guess maybe. But
But
if Pat McAfee was just reporting what he heard, it can't be defamation of character.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But I also don't want to get sued for defaming New Mexico State's basketball team.
No, and I mean like it's there nothing. I didn't read any of the reports. It just said mysterious new allegations. But there was an incident.
Okay.
It was an incident aside from a guy getting shot and killed. Disappointed because now I don't know what my sleeper picks are going to be for the March Madness. It'll probably end up being Pitt. Honestly,
Temple.
end up being
Every year, Temple.
Is Temple good this year?
I have no idea. Let's talk about the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The thing that's tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay.
Super stoked. I've been following Eagles media coverage all week. They had a nice send off last weekend on the Pro Bowl. It was great. Eagles, they had the band. I was getting really excited. Jalen Hurts led Fly Eagles Fly. They flew into Arizona. It's been great. Gardner Minshew looks great in a Super Bowl Eagles jersey, and he's going to be the best QB2 ever.
Yeah, so Giovanni from the Giovanni podcast is going to be. He's like a 15-year-old kid who has his own podcast. I've listened to it a couple times. He does a good job.
And he's doing better than us.
Yeah, he is doing better than us. He's been doing it longer though. He's been on Pat McAfee. He lives in Indianapolis. But yeah, he does do a good job. He's a huge Eagles fan, and he's going to be able to go. He's going to be in the media days as well. I am taking the Christian McCaffrey stance on this Super Bowl. And that is, I hope both teams lose. That is that's what Christian McCaffrey came out and said. He said, I hope both teams lose. That's where I'm at.
But how would they both lose?
I don't know. Or
because it's not even like they could tie either.
So I'm at a conundrum.
Because even if a crazy situation happened on the Super Bowl, like if something as crazy as like, let's say like a DeMar Hamlin situation happened again, like I don't really know what would happen. It's like, did you ever think about that? Like they postponed that other game, but you have like this huge game and a situation like that happens. Would the NFL push to keep playing it, or
Probably.
Would they just kind of reschedule the Super Bowl?
They allegedly pushed to finish the regular season game.
But like in that case scenario, like if they didn't, let's say like somebody collapses on the field and the Chiefs and the Eagles both refuse to go back out there, would it end in a tie? Or would both teams lose?
Both teams lose. The third place, who I think would be the Bengals because they scored more points than the 49ers, gets the ring.
I don't think that would happen.
That is how the Bengals get their first Super Bowl.
Or they do like a thing where they're like, all right,
a coin flip.
Eagles and Chiefs forfeit, and then the 49ers and Bengals have to play in a Super Bowl.
Or
in Canton, Ohio, in front of 10,000 fans.
That's an option. But what if, because we know the NFL loves their coin flips, they both forfeit or they both lose. World champion comes down to a coin flip. Heads, it's the Chiefs. Tails, it's the Eagles.
That sucks. Yeah, but then, like, I know you guys can't see this, but this is how the referees will flip it. They'll go, "Oh wow, it's heads." It's just because they've done that before. There's like videos where it'll be like they'll flip a coin, and then they'll just like go like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Or what about
Jerome? They would go, "Oh, it's heads, tails."
Just drop it.
It's heads. It's like, wow, cool.
Or Jerome Bettis. It was Jerome Bettis, wasn't it? When he was like, he called heads or something, and he either called heads or tails, and then they said it was the other one, and he was like, no, I called it this way. Have you ever seen
it might have been. It might have been. I don't remember the clip that you're talking about. I mean, like, kind of do, but I don't remember if it was a Steeler or not.
I think it was Jerome Bettis, and he said, like, they flipped the coin, and he had said heads, and he very clearly said heads, and they were like, it is heads. The other team gets the ball. And he's like, no, I said heads. And they're like, no, you said tails. He's like, no, I said heads.
I'll have to look that video up. I don't
Yeah.
know if I've seen that
Yeah.
before.
I could see that maybe happening. But so here's the conundrum I have. I don't have a reason to hate the Chiefs other than the fact they beat the Bengals.
And even then, there's really no reason to
No,
hate a team.
I don't.
Off of
It was
because you beat them last year. They beat you this year.
I know. And that's the
That's
thing.
fair.
That's the thing. But here's the other thing. If the Chiefs win, you have to do the combine with me. And that's been in my head too. Furthermore, if the Chiefs win, Patrick Mahomes will have 2 rings, which is going to be really annoying.
2 rings already. That's crazy.
Yes. Now, okay. We go to the Eagles. The Eagles win. Eagles fans will burn down anything in sight. There will
be awesome
cars getting flipped.
They've already prepared for this. They've already prepared for.
I saw an interview with one guy where he was like, "I think if we get enough people together, we can tear down a whole building if the Eagles win." So you've got that going on. Then Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow are from the same draft class. They're both 2020 quarterbacks. So here's what Eagles fans are going to be doing for the foreseeable future if the Eagles win.
Jalen Hurts is better than Joe Burrow.
Jalen Hurts is better than Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback out of the 2020 draft. And that's what I'm going to have to deal with until Joe Burrow wins a Super Bowl ring, which hopefully isn't that long off, but it's going to be annoying for the time frame that you have to deal with it.
Hey, I mean, wasn't that one guy that did the really good Photoshop job? He predicted the Bengals to win the Super Bowl in 2027.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys don't have to wait that long.
No, that's so
Just
long. I have to deal with that though, because Eagles.
Yeah,
fans
but that
are
means
so
that the Bengals win it before the Steelers do. The Steelers aren't even on that list. So that means that Kenny Pickett and the rest of them, they're not going to have a Kenny Pickett stairway to 7 until after 2027 at the earliest.
Okay, but how would you feel if like freaking Desmond Ridder came out? And actually, no, that's not a bad example because I like Desmond Ridder. But how would you feel if like Brock Purdy had come out as Mr. Irrelevant? You probably would have liked it and been like, "Hey, I'm gonna win a Super Bowl," and then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Brock Purdy is way better than Kenny Pickett, best quarterback from that draft."
I don't know. I mean, it would be a kind of a weird argument because I'd be like, okay, yeah, but let's see how he does next season.
But people use that all the time. People use that all the time to prove who's a better quarterback.
And it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't always matter about the rings that you have. I mean, like Tom Brady had broken so many records on top of winning Super Bowls that he made himself the GOAT. But if you look at certain quarterbacks and stuff like that, like Ben Roethlisberger, he only won, 2 Super Bowls? Because he won 2005, 2008, and then he made one other appearance. So, yeah. So, I was trying to make sure. But, like, he is definitely first ballot Hall of Famer. But he doesn't run up with some of these other quarterbacks, like, of all time. But because of his stat numbers and his stat lines and his awards and different things that he's done, like, it makes him a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, realistically, Jalen Hurts could win a ring and then never do anything again. And Joe Burrow could go on to win 2 Super Bowls, have a decent career, and be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
3.
I'm just saying, like,
at least 3.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, overall, like 3 then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whether he wins 3 or not, Jalen Hurts might win 1, but he just may never solidify himself as, like, a great quarterback. Like, maybe in a couple years, he ends up just, like, falling off the face of the earth. Like, I don't know. Like,
right.
It can happen. So, like, it really depends. It's kind of annoying because the argument sucks. When people are like, "Oh yeah, this person has more championships than you, you're better." Well, yeah, but like there's players that have like jumped around and have been on like several different teams and have won several different rings with several different teams. That doesn't make them good. They were a backup linebacker. It's like cool. Like I'm proud of you that you have 7 rings, but like what do you have to show for it? Like it's not like you won MVP or you're like a defensive player of the year or offensive player of the year or MVP, you know?
I think this is still true. I believe Jimmy Garoppolo is still the only active quarterback with multiple Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird just because it was a backup.
So Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, in theory,
He's
with the logic that these people use, yeah, that
yeah.
is true.
It's just I know that it's not right. I know that it's not true. Obviously, Tom Brady is like his own like thing, but like
He's in a league of his own.
yeah, he's in
It's
his own
weird.
little category. It's like just the Tom Brady category. But people will be like, "Oh yeah, this dude has 3 rings, automatic Hall of Famer." But it's like, well, actually, no. He got one of those as a starter. Like if Jimmy G were to win a Super Bowl, he'd have 3 rings.
Yeah.
But he got 2 of those as a backup with the Patriots,
Hmm.
and one hypothetically wherever. Probably not with the 49ers, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Somewhere
don't want
else.
either team to win. I would be okay with. I don't want to say I'm okay with him getting hurt because I don't want Jalen Hurts to get hurt. But I think it would be really cool if Gardner Minshew came in and won a Super Bowl.
Yes, that's what I've been waiting to hear.
That
Listen. And I've said it before. Like I have a lot of different shirts and I have a lot of different hoodies and whatnot and stuff like that. And I know Josh tends to tease me about it, but it's just based on things and how things have happened. Like I have a Chargers hoodie because I was a big bandwagon of Melvin Gordon for my fantasy football team. Now he no longer plays
well, he's a
in the
free
league.
agent.
Well, yeah. I have an Adam Humphries jersey that I bought for Turkey Bowl. I have a Gardner Minshew jersey that's Jacksonville because I dressed up for him for Halloween. But what sets apart all these other random things with these Chiefs and whatever I have, one thing that sets it apart is that for the Eagles, there's one player that I have been supporting since his crazy debut way back in 2019, and that's Gardner Minshew. I could not grow facial hair my senior year, and I tried my hardest to grow a mustache, and everyone made fun of me and called me a pedo. So I shaved it, and then I vowed one day that I'd be able to grow a
I'm glad
mustache just
that's on
like
the
him. And
podcast now.
yeah, I mean, it's my friend. My friends thought that I looked like because it's just like your little
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
little caterpillar looking
Mhm.
thing. So eventually, over time, I always vowed that one day I would have an iron like whatever they
Handlebar.
call it, handlebar. Yeah, I was gonna call it an iron bar. But I always vowed that one day I'd have a handlebar, and so back in 2022, still supporting Minshew, still being a big Minshew guy. I've always been like crazy for him, whatever. Then next thing I know, um, I shave my beard, my hockey beard, and I leave just the mustache, and everyone's like, "Holy crap, you look like Minshew," and I was like, "No way." It starts, and then that's just where it keeps going. And now I have a chance to watch Gardner Minshew get a ring, and whether he starts or not is crazy. But imagine Jalen Hurts goes down and Minshew goes in and wins it. I think that might have been. I might just spam post a bunch of Eagles posts if that happens. I don't know what I would do honestly because I'm not even that big of an Eagles fan. I just really am a big Gardner Minshew fan.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if it's Gardner Minshew, I don't feel like the Eagles won at that point. I feel like it's Gardner Minshew won.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Gardner
But
Minshew. I'm not rooting for the Eagles.
okay, okay.
I'm like Donna Kelsey on this.
I'm rooting for the Eagles because of Gardner Minshew. And I have an Eagles t-shirt that I bought because when me and my friend went to go to the Eagles Browns game, um, I wanted an Eagles shirt, but then he just let me borrow his Carson Wentz jersey, even though
Well,
Carson Wentz didn't play there
yeah,
anymore. So
yeah. Donna Kelsey said she is rooting for offenses tomorrow. I'm rooting for defenses. She wants this to be the highest scoring game. I want it to be the lowest scoring game.
I want it to be a 24-20 final.
So who do you think still running with the Eagles is your pick?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be probably like a. I think the Eagles are like it's going to be a close game in the first half, but I think the Eagles are going to run away with it. So
Well, I've been training for
actually, no, I kind of take that back. I think the Eagles are going to like have a really good first half, and then the Chiefs are going to try to come back in the second half, but the Eagles are just going to hold out
well,
because the Eagles tend to really do good in the first half for some reason, and I just can't figure it out. So
I've been training for my NFL debut in the NFL Combine. I've been benching, I've been running, I've been reading books for the Wonderlic test. It's all up here, man. Like Bryce Young better watch out. I'm gonna sneak in number 1 overall pick.
And listen, I do not want to do that at all. So what I'm gonna do is root the crap out of the Eagles
I think
tomorrow. I am going to be the craziest Eagles fan tomorrow. In fact, I might have to get an Eagles onesie.
your
I might have to go.
hatred of wanting to do that though is what's driving me to want the Chiefs to win.
Listen,
I don't
I have
want the
nothing
Chiefs to
against
win. I want you to suffer. That is my
Yeah. Wow. Some friend you are. But whatever, buddy. Whatever, buddy. So, but yeah, we got the birds, bro. I'm all for birds. I cannot believe they beat the 49ers. That just amazes me, honestly.
They injured both the quarterbacks.
Hey, Brock Purdy had it coming. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
They
kidding.
did nothing.
I'm kidding. I know. Well, it was just the way that, like, if you watch the play, like the way that he went in to tackle him, like it was just like I mean, it's an aggressive game. I mean, both teams were tackling hard. So,
Are
like,
you
when they
currently
went
trying to
tackle him,
justify injuring Brock Purdy?
it wasn't like they were like forcefully trying to injure him. The way that they hit him was just like a fluke of the arm. It was like when they hit him, it like just messed up his shoulder.
And what
or
about
whatever
Josh
he was doing.
Johnson?
I didn't even know that he really got hurt. Did he get tackled too hard?
Yeah, he
during
got
that
hurt
game?
too. Yeah. Both quarterbacks got injured. They got down to the point where Christian McCaffrey was the next quarterback up.
Yeah. So,
And
I mean,
they threw Brock Purdy back in.
yeah.
And he was like, he needs to get surgery on his arm now. And he might be back for training camp, though. They thought he was going to be out a good portion of the season. Now they're saying, nope, he'll be back. So we'll see. We'll see if Mr. Irrelevant is back. But yeah, your distaste for the combine kind of makes me want to root for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I just don't feel like doing it, to be honest. I just don't really want to.
No.
Like, I mean, I can, like, I'll do it, but it's just like one of those things where it's just more work that I have to figure out how to fit into my busy life.
Well, you got to come
right
up here
now.
to film it either way.
Yeah, so like I have to find a time to schedule it whenever. I mean, the problem right now is that like I mean, we'll find out tomorrow. I mean, I can always go up and film you doing it in Ohio sometime whenever. But like the thing is like for me, trying to figure out a day for like me to go up there and run the combine, like, is recording you is fine, but like recording both of us is going to take a lot longer.
It'll be fine.
And then we would have to wait a little bit of time. I wouldn't say a couple weeks. My spring break is like the end of February into early March. I don't know when your guys' is, but you're going to go see Cody Johnson, you said, so you're not even going to be there for one of the days.
That's in March. That's for the school year. That has nothing to do with my spring break. That's just me skipping class.
I know, but like my spring break, you're still going to have class. So, I mean, that'll be fine though, because then I can pop up. But if you're not going to be there for 3 days or something, if you're going home for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. Anyway, let's go Chiefs. Go Chiefs.
To be determined tomorrow.
Determined.
You'll find out on we'll find out probably around 11:30 tomorrow.
Yep.
The verdict on if I'm participating with you or not.
And it will be on the YouTube, which now has stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
No Butts Show is the name. No Butts About It. YouTube. It's up there. There's old interviews with Andrew, old stuff, old videos, old clips of stuff that I've put up there, so you can listen to. Go subscribe. It's No Butts About It on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, NoButts_show. TikTok is also No Butts Show. The 2 S's, NOBUTTSSHOW.
And disclaimer with that real quick before you get into your other spiel. We will be posting on the TikTok. Probably one of the first things that we'll start posting about it is the snippets of us doing the combine.
Or we'll be posting on the TikTok.
I will be posting it. However, I'm going to say we, but in a way it'll either be me and Josh doing the combine or just Josh. But either way, that'll probably be one of the first videos because we're trying to do more like challenges and like smaller clips on the TikTok.
That's right.
Whereas the YouTube is more of the podcast, unless we start like beefing or something on the show, then maybe that'll go on the TikTok. But just a disclaimer that will be used more, but if you want more content, we will let you know when we'll start posting on the TikTok, but follow the YouTube definitely for sure, as well as everything else that Josh will continue with.
Yeah, so my Twitter is no, it's not. It's Joshua_Butts_2001. My Instagram is real Josh Butts. That's what I said. I guess you can go follow that if you want, but most of the people who listen to the show already are. So I think that's email bullmoosepodcast2@gmail.com. So if you have questions you want us to answer, if you want us to talk about something on the show, you can go ahead and email that. Thanks again for listening. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Chus has left the view of the camera, so I'm going to assume he's ready to go. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I hope you all do something nice for each other, and see you all Monday, hopefully. And hopefully Chus will be having to do the combine with me.